Courtney Cox here in the Nesson Digital Studio, joined now by Ryan Newman. Ryan, thanks so much for taking the time to talk.
Hey, thank you.
18 years of experience racing at this level, and Roush Fenway is the fourth organization you've raced for in Cup Series. What have you learned over time is the most important thing to do in your first year with a new team?
Just get the communication 100%, get that chemistry established, and you have to get it done quick, right? The biggest race of the season is the Daytona 500, the first race. So getting everything initialized, I guess you could say, making sure that you have your seat comfortable, everything's working right inside the car, outside the car, team gelling type thing. And it's a challenge because you have to learn a lot of new faces and new characters, new personalities and things like that have a big influence on how successful your season's going to be. And each race is an opportunity to qualify for the playoffs. So you want to start off 100% and lock your way into the playoffs as soon as you possibly can. So I've got a lot of experience, no doubt, with different organizations, and look forward to this opportunity with Roush Fenway.
As a former winner of the Daytona 500, what makes this race so special? I know what it is for fans, but for you as a driver.
I think it's just the history of the sport. I mean, in the end, it's 500 miles like so many other races in the season, but it's the history of the sport, the history of this series, I guess you could say, racing on the beach back in the day. All the France family, all the effort that's gone into it, the innovation of looking at a track that's 2.5 miles in distance, banked 31 degrees. The technology, I guess, that was involved back in the day that makes it special. I mean, it's I guess you could maybe equate it to like a Wrigley Field or someplace like that was ahead of its time, maybe, so to speak. But here it's special for us because it's the first race. It's special because it's Daytona. And you got not just the oval track racing, but it's the history of sports car racing and whatnot that happens as well. So just so much of racing's history, racing back on the beach, not only in the oval, but setting land speed records back in the sand back in the days. It's just kind of the place to go this time of year to race, and it makes it special for us.
Do you have any expectations, and if you do, what are they, not just for Sunday, but for the 2019 season?
Really just look forward to having some fun. I've always said that's what it's supposed to be all about. There's no part of what we do that's supposed to be a job. It should be going out there having fun and getting rewarded by getting paid and standing in victory lane and spraying Coke all over each other. So, that's the ultimate goal. So it's fun not just for me, but for everybody at Roush Fenway to get the Oscar Mayer Ford in victory lane as many times as possible and have a shot at the championship. That's my personal goal. The #1 goal of the season is to have a shot and then win the championship. So we've got to do our job at the first race and every race in between before we get to Homestead.
You're a regular in the modifieds race up here when you visit New Hampshire. What is it about that type of racing that keeps you participating?
It's just a fun race car. It's a fun racetrack at Loudon. I kind of hate the fact that we don't have the second race there now, mostly because of the modifieds. They're so much fun to race there with those guys that do it for a living, so to speak. And I was just talking to Ryan Priest just a few minutes ago about his win last night at New Smyrna. So it's just those cars are amazing race cars, low center of gravity, very little downforce, all about tire grip and working the traffic and things like that. And I guess to me it's just a lot of fun.
Well, we talked with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. earlier today, and he talked about your friendship off the track and how that really relates to being teammates. For you, what's it like to have a teammate like Ricky?
I think we got a lot of things in common when we grew up doing the same things, sliding, sprint cars and midgets and Silver Crown cars across dirt and pavement, and working as a driver to compete in 30 to 100 lap races. And that's kind of the way racing is now. I mean, you've got these stage races, you've got got to keep your car on edge the whole time, and we've got a lot of experience on the racetrack doing that, but we've also got a lot of background, I guess you could say, in short track open wheel dirt racing that we still kind of keep in contact about, whether it's a USAC sprint car or his World of Outlaw sprint car team, that we have that as a common, I guess, trait or communication device to keep everything that we do on the weekends on the racetrack separate. So aside from being kind of raised the same way and doing the same things, we both have the same desire, and that's to be successful at Roush Fenway Racing.
All right, Ryan. Well, thanks so much for talking with me. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.